Uh, Good morning, everyone. As usual, I'm just going to give a couple of minutes to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. But even as you guys keep coming in, I just want to use this few minutes to share a shout out to you guys. How have you been? In the next 3 to 2 minutes will be noon. How has your day been? Those at work, those in the office, and those working at home remotely. How has things been with you? And those caught up in traffic, sometimes traffic can be hectic and the rest. Hope each and every one of us are making, hope each and every one of us is making judicious use of the day. Hi, Regina. I can see a couple of familiar names on our attendees list. You guys are welcome once again. I do promise you guys that today will be, a great day for us.
I remember Regina. I've seen her. Yes. Hi,
Yeah, sure.
Regina.
Now, for those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, I just want to go through the normal introduction. My name is Gagba Esahaya, and I'm the training coordinator with the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple Small Business Development Center helps small businesses start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to no cost webinars. We are proud to be part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. You are here this afternoon for a webinar on proven strategies to build your business on LinkedIn. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar as usual, all the attendees have been muted. But we always encourage you guys to drop your question on the Q&A or the chat box. Without further ado, if you remember from the onset, I did say today is indeed a great day. The main reason is because I've got a great speaker in our midst. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome Brooke, even as she takes over the floor for the presentation.
Thank you very much. And I know we still have a couple minutes before we hit noon here. But just to let you know, you're, and actually I'll repeat this again, but you're more than welcome to ask questions throughout the presentation. So, if something, crosses your mind, put it in the Q&A or chat, like at that time, because I want to make sure we can address it, just, kind of, keep things flowing and as interactive as humanly possible. And I definitely appreciate those who have been coming to multiple seminars that I'm presenting, and I appreciate you. And thank you very much for that. So let's see, but we're going to start exactly at noon because we have so much to cover, and I want to make sure I get everything done. So I have 11:59. We're going to wait one more minute, and then we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm never good with filling blank space. I'm just like do. Next time I should come prepared with a song and a dance or something, just jazz it up a little bit. And okay. Oh, Regina appreciates you too. Thank you. Thank you, Regina. Okay. Should be here. Okay. It's noon. We are starting. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Proven Strategies to Build Your Business on LinkedIn. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brooke Miles. I am a social media strategist and trainer. That's what I do. And my passion is really helping small business owners get a whole lot out of their social media. With as little effort as possible, but sometimes you do need to put forth some effort in the beginning to, kind of keep things rolling. So, or have things stay sustainable. So, one thing I'm going to do right now is just a second. In chat right now, actually, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to put my contact information along with my YouTube channel, which has like a ton of free tutorials. And I'll put that in a few minutes, just when more people have arrived so they see it. And that'll supplement a lot of the things that you're learning today. Okay, so what we're going to learn today, a whole bunch on LinkedIn. The first one, actually, I will tell you that the big comment I usually get from people is, I have a profile and I don't know what to do with it. Or I have a profile and a bunch of connections and I don't know what to do with them. So here, this is going to answer all of that. But we're going to talk about how to build your profile and really optimize your LinkedIn profile to boost your business opportunities. And really, it's your LinkedIn personal profile that you should leverage more than your company page. And we'll talk about that, by the way. But we're going to talk about how to build your profile to really attract clients, and how to post solid content to, again, attract customers, and also people who are in similar industries to what you're in, and they're talking to the same types of clients and can refer business to you. So how do you attract those people too? And how do you post content that attracts those people? We're also going to talk about easy engagement techniques that to nurture your network, how to leverage LinkedIn groups to expand your network. And one thing that's going to be kind of sprinkled throughout this conversation is tapping into that like LinkedIn algorithm, or the LinkedIn algorithms, whatever you want to call it. But there are certain things that you can do that trigger the LinkedIn algorithm to say, maybe you should show up in more searches. Maybe your content should be delivered to more news feeds. So you'll be hearing about all of that throughout. And again, if you have questions, please, please, please feel free to ask, and like just ask throughout. Okay, I only have one screen on why LinkedIn, because you already have an idea that LinkedIn is a good thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So I'm gonna make this really, really quick. LinkedIn right now is at 800,000, almost 800, well, actually more than 800 million users. So it's approaching 1 billion users. Okay, worldwide, a lot of people, and it's fantastic for creating online networking relationships in a more professional space than, say, Facebook or Instagram, which have a place for a lot of us for our company social media, but LinkedIn is a bit more professional. And it's really great whether you are business to business or business to consumer. Now, if you're business to business, LinkedIn makes sense because people and their businesses are on LinkedIn. So it seems like a natural fit that you attract other business owners and other people who represent businesses. If you're business to business. For business to consumer, keep in mind that every single person on LinkedIn, even if they are there representing their brand, they're still a human being and they could still use your services. So, LinkedIn is always really good for that. But then also you can use LinkedIn to to nurture professional relationships with people who can refer business to you, and you can refer business to them. So LinkedIn is great for both B2B and B2C. And also LinkedIn is great for showcasing your thought leadership, because not only can you do regular posts, but you can do long form blog articles there. There's a whole section for that. So it's really, really fantastic. And let's see okay, another minute, I'll go ahead and share all my contact information. So, and by the way, we're not just going to do like just PowerPoint here. We're going to kind of go back and forth between PowerPoint and also my own profile, just so you can kind of see it. But let me just go through this slide right here, and then we'll go back. So first of all, your personal profile is the most important thing of your entire LinkedIn experience. It is not your company page. The reason for that is that the best way to think of LinkedIn is that it's a 24/7 online networking, business networking venue. And if you've ever gone to a business networking event, you are like an in-person one, you arrive at the event as yourself, as a human being. And yes, you represent your company, but ultimately you're meeting other people so people can get to know you, like you, trust you, so that they do business with you. And that's exactly how it is on LinkedIn. You don't arrive at a networking event as your company, like with a billboard in front of your face. It's you're representing your company. Okay. So it's people to people who network with each other on LinkedIn, representing their company. Now, there are LinkedIn company pages, but I will tell you that people do not visit LinkedIn company pages nearly as much as they visit people's, personal profiles. And again, personal profiles on LinkedIn are different from those on Facebook. You're not showing pictures of your family. You're showing it's you a little bit more buttoned up on LinkedIn. It's showing your career and where you are professionally right now. So it's still helpful to have a LinkedIn company page, but it's honestly, if you only had one thing you could do and nothing else in terms of to build, do the profile, not the company page. I would hope you to do both, but I'm just saying the profile gets way more traction. People visit it more if you put a post out on LinkedIn. If it goes out through your profile, LinkedIn will send it to way more news feeds than if you send it through your company page. So yeah, okay. So hopefully that answers that question there. So, but we're going to work from the top to the bottom of your profile. And the reason is people who visit your profile are going to look more at the top than they are at the bottom. So, while ideally, if I could wave my magic wand over your entire LinkedIn profile experience, everything would be immaculate and completely filled out. But if you have limited time, and a lot of us do, focus on the top the most. Okay. And again, I'll show you, I'll show you my profile too. So we can like have some imagery to kind of go with everything I'm talking about. We're going to talk about the banner image. For right now, we're going to go over and then we're going to look at the banner image, which is like the top banner image on your profile, and also your profile picture. And let me just give you some pointers with your profile picture right now. It really should be, if you can make it a professional headshot, that would be better. But if not, if you have a, a friend with an iPhone, 13, or just, a good camera on their phone, that's fine too. But obviously you want to have professional dress, or however you would dress to work. That's how you should dress in the photo. Keep the background really simple, because you want people to look at your face, not the bookcase behind you or the nature behind you. So keep it like super simple, or if you want to like blur the background, but try and make it a neutral, plain background if you can. Make it a headshot only, not a full body shot, not like waist up. Really, from the shoulders up is the best, because the closer you are to the camera, the more people can see you, and the more likely they are to feel like there's trust. Okay. And for that reason, also, you want to maintain eye contact with the camera. So you're maintaining eye contact, you could say, with the person visiting your page. And I know there's some stylized headshots out there where people aren't, they're kind of looking to the side, because, it does look very intelligent. I will say that, but it doesn't feel as trustworthy. It's better to look straight at the camera, and definitely smile. Definitely smile. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to quickly go out of PowerPoint just very briefly. We're going to go to my to LinkedIn. And obviously when you arrive on LinkedIn, this is the homepage you're going to arrive on. It shows your news feed, just like Facebook, it always shows like, what the people, your friends or your people you're connected to, what they're posting. So that's what LinkedIn does. But let's go to my profile right here. Okay. And by the way, you're more than welcome to connect with me. I accept, we'll talk about this, but I accept all connection requests for a reason, or 99.99999% of all of them. Okay, so here's my headshot, and I will tell you, admittedly, one other piece of advice is to make sure that your headshot is up to date. This headshot is 10 years old and photoshopped. I do need to update it, so I'm just putting that out there. But so that's on my homework. The banner image above here, you want it to relate to your industry, or and preferably, if you can, the happy result that people experience after using your services. So an example I can give is, like, if someone's a mortgage broker, it could be a picture of that dream home, or a family, like a happy family in their new home with the boxes because they've just moved in, that type of thing. So anything you can show that helps people visualize your brand and a happy result, you want to be able to do that. Okay. Oh, okay. Jacqueline says your headshot looks great. I would not think to update it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that was taken when I was 40 and now I'm 50 and I'm like so middle-aged now. It's scary. But thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe if I get a feedback like that, maybe I'll hold on to know for another year. But the photographer who took this, I know where to pin him. I know where to get him and have him take another photo. But thank you. That's very nice of you. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to, I'm trying to look at the, in the chat box, I'll just put down, this is all of my contact information, email address, website, and also my YouTube channel, which has like I have more than 100, I think more than 100, or right about 100 videos, to all free, well, obviously it's free, tutorial videos on LinkedIn, Facebook, and a little bit of Instagram, and a little bit of social media in general. Okay, so if you want, and a lot of things I'm talking about here, I do expand upon on YouTube, like like an 8-minute tutorial just on the skills and endorsement section of LinkedIn, that type of stuff. So, but I'm going to give you the most important information I can today to get you started. Okay, so that is the imagery piece of it. And let's see. Next thing is, okay, so, and we'll talk about this, then we'll go to my profile so you can see it. You can create a custom URL for your profile, and every single page on the internet has its own URL, like, the HTTP, / that, all that stuff. So your profile does too. And you can create a custom one that doesn't have any gobbledygook letters and numbers, that, it just has your name and maybe some branding stuff in there. So I'll show you how to do that. You also want to make sure in your profile that your contact information is up to date. And I know this may seem really obvious, but I would say when I'm working with clients, and I have like really awesome clients, about 50 to 75% of them have outdated information in the contact section. Either it has like an old like AOL address that they used to sign up, when they signed up for LinkedIn, it doesn't have their company email address, or it has like an old company website or whatever. So it's a section that's so easy to overlook, and we're going to look at that. We're also going to talk about the headline. The headline is where you include, these are the words that appear just under your headshot, and they need to include keywords. We're going to talk about that. And what we'll be talking about also is that you want to write in the first person and use simple language, but we're going to go back to LinkedIn. I just want to make sure I talk about the bullet points before we go to LinkedIn, but I do see something in chat here. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So you guys are making my day. Oh my gosh. Okay. So custom URL, contact information, headline. Okay. Let's do this. Oops. Okay. Okay. So the custom URL is, do you see up here? And it's right up here. I'm highlighting it. It says Brooke the Marketing Pro. It used to say like, Brooke Grub Miles, and then a whole bunch of letters and numbers. And anyway, it's a little detail that, people notice. So if you ever want to change it on your profile, you click on Edit Public Profile and URL. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I did that really, really quickly. On the right-hand corner, top right corner, you'll see Edit Public Profile and URL. You click on that. And then in the top right corner again, it says Edit Your Custom URL. And then you can click on the pencil mark and change that. So that's that piece of it. I'm sorry if you see me move stuff around, I'm moving Zoom things around just so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Contact information for you to update is right down here where I'm hovering. So just click on that and make sure it's all good. I actually have a whole YouTube video just on updating your contact information, because some things aren't 100% intuitive, but I will tell you, if you update your email and make your current email address primary, it does not change your login information. It only changes what people see when they click on your contact information. So, but you could even add your social media accounts and everything. And I put 2 of my favorites right here. Obviously, I could have done more, but, and then the headline. I want to spend some time on this. What I'm highlighting right here is the headline. This is so important. If you need to spend, and I'm sorry to say this, if you need to spend an hour like working on your headline, which I know I have on mine, okay, do it, because this headline doesn't just appear front and center when people are visiting your profile, which should be reason enough to make it fantastic. But also, if you show up in a LinkedIn search, people see your photograph, name, and headline. If you when you post something, people see your photograph, name, and headline. So that headline appears in multiple spots, and you want to make sure. And so this is prime real estate for advertising and building your brand. You don't need to say, a lot of times you don't need to put your position or even your company name unless it really describes what you do. Unless your job title and or your company name really describe what you do, and it's super important to put it in your headline, don't do it. For me, I'm president of Delaware Shout Out, and no one in the world is waking up in the morning and saying, wow, I need to go find a president of Delaware Shout Out. That doesn't help them, but they might wake up in the morning and say, I need someone who can train me on social media. So that's why I have my headline the way I do right here. I also have a video on how you can create bolds and italics and all that on LinkedIn. Anyway, so you could see that video too. But spoiler alert, it's a website called yatext.com. Okay, so I kind of just answered that for you. But anyway, but I also give some tips on what to bold and what not to bold, because some things you shouldn't. So anyway, so that's the headline. Super duper important. And one thing I did also say too is that as you're filling out the rest of your profile, you want to make sure, sorry, you're seeing a whole bunch of admin things you would not normally see if you were visiting my profile. These are the admin things I see as the admin to my page, obviously. But everything else you'll see is in first person. You'll see, for example, I have like I and me right here. Further down in experience, I do say we, like as a representative of my company, even though I am my company. We is also first person, is just first person plural. The reason you want to use first person instead of third person is, even though third person seems like it would be better because it's more formal, people on LinkedIn are still people. And you talk about if you're in a networking situation, you're still talking about yourself in the first person. So you want to, you're still talking about yourself in the first person. You refer to yourself in the first person, or at least I hope you do. I'm sure you do. Okay. So you want to also do that on LinkedIn. When you talk about yourself in the first person, you're a lot more approachable. There's no wall. And again, you're trying to get people to like you. And the way they're going to like you more is if you're just approachable and speak normally. So that's the way to do it. I will tell you, like 95% of LinkedIn experts will agree with me on this. So it's not just coming from my Brook brain. It's literally other people are saying this too. Okay, let's see other things to talk about. And I'm sorry I'm talking so quickly. This presentation is normally an hour long. They're on Temple University's, and there's some scheduling. There's some scheduling snags, like last minute things. So I need to end at 11:45. So I'm trying to give you everything I can. But with my contact information, you're more than welcome to reach out if you have questions. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the about section, which I was actually just hovering over just really quickly. The about section, depending on how you have your profile set up, appears near the top of your profile or a bit further down. For me, it's a bit further down, and I'll explain why, but it's still one of the more prominent sections of your profile that people are more likely to read if they read anything else. Because remember, as people go further down your profile, they're going to read less and less and less and less, okay? But the about section is where you can like talk about, do you have this problem? Here's how I solve it. And you're concise and you include your contact information. So it kind of builds on the headline that we just talked about earlier. It kind of builds on that. It gives you some more space to write stuff. I'm also going to, it's also important to mention that as you fill out your entire profile, and by the way, we'll talk about more than just your profile here, so don't worry about that. But as you complete your entire profile, you want to complete all the sections, okay? Like all of it. And LinkedIn is one of those situations where more is more. Usually I say less is more. If you get to know me and you get to watch videos on my channel, I'm like super big on simplicity. But on LinkedIn, the more you write and the more you fill out, the more it looks like you're really dedicated to your career, and the more excited you look about your profession, and the more people are going to be excited about you. So keep that in mind. Okay, so you want to complete all the sections. Remember I mentioned about having a company page, how it isn't 100% important. The only reason the one main reason you would like to have a company page is if you have a company page, then you could put the company page's logo on your profile picture. I'll show you it on your profile page. And so it just dresses things up a little bit more. But as you're filling stuff out on your profile, be sure to avoid sharing proprietary information. Like, let's say at your previous job, you helped increase sales by 300%. That might be proprietary to your previous employer. So I wouldn't share that information. So even if it is really, really impressive, so just be super careful about that. But still, LinkedIn gives you a whole bunch of opportunities where you can add media to different sections, like links to things where you can, like, you know, to showcase different landing pages, where you can add articles, you can add, you know, you can add a whole bunch of videos, you can add a whole bunch of different things. So you can add things to kind of dress things up. So let's just quickly go to the about section now, which again, as you're completing all the sections, you want to, and you've completed the headline, you've spent an hour doing that, and now you're going to write the about section. Pay attention to this. So let me go to that. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I have trouble with this. Okay. I don't know why. It's like I can navigate through a million different things, but then just clicking out of PowerPoint, apparently I have problems with. Okay. So here's the about section. And the reason why mine appears lower in my profile, like you see, like you have the activity section, you have the featured section and all that, is because, I don't know if you can see where I'm hovering over, but it says creator mode is on. If you tend to produce a ton of content, like long form content, or you have videos, you're constantly producing a lot of content. If you turn creator mode on, LinkedIn will restructure your profile so that stuff you want to feature shows up higher and your activity shows up higher. And because I am posting at least every other day on LinkedIn, and I have like a whole bunch of stuff to feature, I want that higher than my about section. But if you don't have, but if you're not producing a lot of content quite yet, don't turn it on. And in that case, the about section right here is going to be much higher on your profile. And here's the about section. So you'll see, I talk about, you know, here's the problem that a lot of people have in terms of struggling with their social media. And then here's my solution. And then I have my contact information. And then here I put areas of focus, and I put just, you know, different things that I can help people with. And this serves two purposes. One is it helps people see what I can help them with, but actually from an algorithm standpoint, remember we talked about the algorithms. So the more keywords you can put in, the more likely you'll show up in searches on LinkedIn when people are searching for things. And I have gotten clients from people, like gotten clients on LinkedIn. Actually, I would say half the clients I've gotten from LinkedIn are from people who found me in a search because they were searching for my particular thing that I do. I should also mention that my approach to LinkedIn is not one where you're sending all this like cold messaging and all of that. Mine is building an amazing profile, putting out good content that's relevant to the specific audience and engaging. And I have been able without, and I almost, probably to a fault, I almost never try to like put a post out there where I'm trying to sell. As a matter of fact, I should actually sell more than I am, and I'm not. I'm literally just putting out content, engaging, and making sure my profile is as good as it can possibly be. And people come to me. And that's how I want my business development. And that's what I teach people. So I can answer questions about, you know, cold messaging. And I have at least one one YouTube video about it, by the way. But I'd rather do things by branding myself as the resource. So this is what I hope to do for you as well in this. Okay, so, and then we just talked about more is more, and you're going to see that I filled out literally every single thing I can, including every past job experience, literally. And I will tell you that a lot of us, and you'll see, I have like 11 job experiences, which is kind of embarrassing. Okay. And I've been in my current role for 8 years, so that's stable. Okay. But there was a period of instability, you know, which wasn't very good. And it's okay, because I will tell you, if you've gone through that or you have some past jobs that are not really relevant, just put it there anyway, because it fleshes you out as a human being. People just want to get to know you. And it's better, it would be better, unless you're like on some witness protection program, which I don't think you are, just put everything there, because I'd rather you put stuff there than hide things. And people are like, well, what did that person do before 2010? Clearly, so that's really important. And we have a question. Shout out to Central Answers 231. Awesome. Yay. Yes. Awesome. Yes. And I'm 248. So yay. Cool. And for those who don't know, that's our class number. Okay. So anyway, but I have so cool. Okay. So I have education, volunteering, skills endorsements we're going to talk about really, really soon. Actually, let me just talk about it right now, since we're right here, because I know it's going to be one of the slides. And that is skills are where you can like list the things that you want to be known for, and then people can go on your profile and click on that they endorse you for it. And the more clicks you have for a particular skill, the more likely you're going to show up on a search. So it you want, so this is an algorithm thing more than anything else. This is really far down in your profile. People normally don't get this far. They almost never get this far. Okay. But LinkedIn will see it. So it is important to do that. And I have a whole video just on this thing, on skills and endorsements, on how to like get them on, and all that. But you can even reorder the skills and put the top, the ones you want to be endorsed for the most, so people don't have to click on show all. But if you click on the pencil sign, you'll be able to, is it the pencil sign? That's really odd. You can reorder. Yeah, actually they've changed it a little bit, but you can click on reorder, you can reorder them. So you can do all of that. I'm also, just while we're right here because to make sure we make the best use of time, recommendations. I have a whole video on recommendations, and I just want to do this to make sure that you have that you know that these resources are out there. But the key is you want to get as many recommendations as you can from people who can vouch for you. But you also want to make sure that the recommendations are, you can even turn them on and off, by the way, just so you know, in case there's one you don't like, or, and you get to review your recommendations before they go out, before they go on your profile, which is really nice. But you don't want to ask everyone at one time, because what'll happen then is that LinkedIn will, no, I shouldn't say that. When people are visiting your page, let's be like, oh, wow, they must have asked a lot of people in May 2021 for recommendations, because all the recommendations are from that time frame. And I made that mistake like in 2012. Like you'll see like I got like 6 recommendations in like 3 weeks or something ridiculous. And I was on a recommendations campaign because I was on a job search right around that time. So anyway, just, you want to spread them out. And about 50% of the people, nearly everyone you ask is going to be excited to help you. But about 50% of people follow through, because a lot of people are busy. So you want to ask more people than you, then you'll end up getting recommendations for. So keep that in mind. So don't be disappointed. I just want to kind of set expectations there. Yes, but I have even more details in terms of how to ask the recommendation, how to get the recommendation that you want, so that it says what you wanted to say, that type of thing. So anyway, so I know I just kind of skipped ahead here. Let me go ahead and click on this one. Okay. And also for recommendations, you might want to start with like 10 people to ask, but then maybe spread it out, maybe ask 2 or 3 people per month, that type of thing. Okay, so now let's talk beyond your profile. Okay, you've do your profile first, by the way, like get that top notch first. Super important for everything else you're going to do. In terms of building your network, you're going to show up in way more search results the larger your network is. That it's just a fact. So even when someone who I'm pretty sure is trying to sell to me, or it's really obvious they're trying to sell to me, tries to connect with me, I'll gladly accept their connection request. I'm just not going to buy from them, and as a matter of fact, if they keep on emailing me, I'll say, hey, I'm very happy to stay connected with you, and I'd appreciate not being solicited. And I usually get like a really nice note back, like, sure, no problem. If you need anything, let me know. Great. And guess what? I just have another connection. And now I will show up in searches for like anyone in their network. I can show up in a search now. So there are only like a couple times in my life that I have not accepted a connection request. And it's from people that I knew that have proven themselves to not be someone I want to be connected with. But everyone else, you have to give them a fair chance. Every friend starts out as a stranger. And the whole point of networking is to meet people you don't know. So I know that there are some people who don't feel comfortable with that, but literally the whole point of networking is to meet people you don't know. And if you're at a networking event, you give a stranger your business card, why not connect with them on LinkedIn? So anyway, let's see, we have something here. Dana says, thanks, cool. You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys are so nice. Okay. In terms of, now I will tell you that even though I accept all connection requests, I'm a little shy about reaching out to connect to people. I will like without even thinking, I will reach out to people I already know, or people that I'm acquainted with that I'm pretty sure that if I sent them a connection request, they'll remember that I existed and I'm a normal human being-ish, so they'll connect with me. But I'm normally very, very hesitant to reach out to strangers myself, because if you get too many people who report you as spam, your account could be compromised. It takes a lot for that to happen, but I've worked too hard to build my network the way it is and build my profile, and I want to keep it. So because I accept every connection request, and I have a pretty decent sized network, again, if I meet someone, I will make sure that within 24 to 48 hours, I reach out to them to connect if they haven't connected with me already. So what you might want to do if you have, you just have like, 100 connections or fewer, and you're like, where do I start? And LinkedIn, by the way, does set limits on how many people you can connect with at one time. I mean, it's a lot. It's like, I think like 100 a day, or it's something, I forget what it is, but it would take a lot. But if you're just starting, you have so many people to connect with, and you don't want to like wait forever to connect with all of them. So you can do a free trial of one of their premium plans for 30 days, where you can do unlimited connection requests. It's one of the benefits of a premium plan. And then just be sure to get out of the premium plan on day 29. So let's see what we have here. Tracy says, I post on LinkedIn almost daily, sharing my pics of all things Philly apparel. I've made many sales via LinkedIn, and I've received a number of cool testimonials. I've been hesitant to create a business page because I now have a strong following on my personal page. Is there a way to bring followers to a new business page? Also, can you post a TikTok video to LinkedIn? Thanks. Okay, so on LinkedIn, if you build a company page, it's not you're still going to have a strong following to your okay, it's not going to affect your following or anything like that. It really won't. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to have a company page, just because there will be a very small percentage of people who are going to want to check that out. And then also that your logo for your company page, you can then put on your LinkedIn profile on when you list your job experience for that. So I would recommend doing that. And that you can bring your followers to a new business page. I wouldn't bring them. It's more like inviting them to also like it. But keep in mind, they're mostly going to interact with your personal page no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're following your company page. It's more of like a little side thing. And let me show you how to do that. And then I will remember to answer your question about TikTok. Okay, sorry. And I'm just checking the time here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So if you're on your company page, let me just go to mine. So funny, because it's been forever since I've actually invited people to the page. Let's see if this is admin tools, invite connections. So you go to your page, and you can either do through search, or you can the other way you can get to your company page, by the way. If you click on me and then you go to manage, you'll see the pages that you manage. But if you go to admin tools and then click on invite connections, and you get 100, I think it looks like 100 people per month that you can invite to your page. This has not been that important to me. It really hasn't. I have the company page more for looks than anything else. But that's how you do it. In terms of posting TikTok videos to LinkedIn, I believe, I mean, you'd have to post it fresh, like post it directly. And I don't think the vertical format's going to affect anything. It might end up having the black border on either side of it, because it's a vertical format, and LinkedIn might want it not quite as vertical. So you can do that. I don't think there's anything that would stop you. I mean, the length of a TikTok video is shorter than 10 minutes, obviously, which is 10 minutes is the current video length limit if you're posting directly on LinkedIn. So I would definitely give it a try and see how it goes. I mean, video in general, I mean, humans on LinkedIn respond to video just as humans do on any other social media platform. They love video. They really do. Let's see. 20 seconds. Thank you. Yes. So I knew it was way less. I was trying to remember. It's so funny because anyway, thank you for that. Okay. By the way, I have 0 videos about TikTok on my YouTube channel. So, but LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, social media in general, content marketing, that's where I can help you. But thank you so much for that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go right here. We have 8 more minutes. All right. Okay, so posting content, and by the way, we're going to share with you right now applies to all of your social media. Okay, so but you want to think about like what keeps your audience up at night as it relates to your industry or similar fields. So for me, obviously, I want to post about social media, but once in a while I'll post about time management because I'm working with small business owners who are running in a million different directions, or sometimes I'll post about entrepreneurship because that applies to my audience. Okay, but most of it is going to be about social media or marketing in general. And what you'll do is write a list of the topics that make sense for your audience, and then figure out which topics should get more airtime. In other words, I post way more about social media marketing than I do about time management. Okay, but once in a while, time management will get in there. And then you have and then you're going to create a simple, I'm going to skip the third slide third bullet point just for a second. And then you're going to create a simple editorial calendar. And I'm going to give you an example on the next slide. And I wrote down example on next slide, so I knew that I did have this. Now, this is I'm just showing you days 1 through 16, but because so you could see it better, but imagine that it goes all the way down to actually day 30, since not every month is 30 days, 31 days. But if you were a realtor, as an example, you would, in the first couple of weeks of the month, have a post about home buying or selling strategies. A couple times have something self-promotional. It could be about an open house or a happy client who just bought a new home, that type of thing. Once during that time, you'll talk about real estate statistics. So you're going to actually figure out what days of the month you'll talk about what general topics. For time purposes, I would normally actually go into more detail right now, but because we have less time today than normal, there is a video I have on my YouTube channel. It's called it says easiest content calendar ever, something like that. And it's from 2021, and it goes through the details of how to set this up and how to choose the topics and how much should be self-promotional or not self-promotional and all that. But this is literally a screenshot of a Microsoft Word document. But the key is, and I'm really big on the day of the month rather than day of the week, because the day of the month, no one can see the pattern. There's still a pattern, it's still strategic, but it doesn't look forced. It looks very, very organic. So, the other thing I want to mention, this is the third bullet point of this slide, is for long form content. Let's say you're not just posting a little update, you're not just posting, 1 or 2 sentences and a link, or 1 or 2 sentences and a video or a photo, but you have a whole blog article. Okay. On LinkedIn, you could post it as an article rather than as a short form update, which is super, super cool. So when you're on LinkedIn, a lot of people don't take advantage of this. I'm going to tell you what, it has been enormously helpful to me. So when you're on your homepage, click on write article. Oh, sorry, let me go back. You're on your homepage and you see where you can post something right here. Click on write article. So normally you post something, but you don't do that. Click on write article. And I'm going to do that as me. Okay. And you'll see you could put in a whole headline, you could put a cover image, and down here you can like cut and paste your whole Microsoft Word document. But you could do links, you could do hyperlinks, you could make things bold and italics, you could do all of that here. And it appears as an article, and there's a whole section on your profile where people can check that out. But what's super, super even cooler is that more recently, LinkedIn has given us the ability to curate all of our articles in a newsletter, and people can subscribe to your newsletter. So anytime I post something now, and it's about every other week I post something, pardon me, it goes on social media for small biz. I have a newsletter, that's what it's called. And it goes to that newsletter. And then what happens is when I post to that newsletter, there are more than 1,200 people who have subscribed to it, and they all get an email, the regular email inbox that says, I just posted something, and already has a teaser. So that has been enormously helpful for getting a ton of views for content, rather than just putting something out there and it just kind of goes in the news feed. So keep that in mind. It is enormously helpful. We did that. You also want to, should the article be on the business or personal? No, it should still be business related. It's just that you're putting it through your personal. I mean, I guess if you do something personal, it should still relate to business. Like it could be a personal experience you had that relates to a business lesson. You could do it that way. But ultimately everything should still be somewhat business related. The other thing I do, and I literally have 3 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, okay, so check your notifications, because you will see people's like birthday announcements, work anniversaries, and all of that, and congratulate people for that. I have gotten at least one. I know I got one client from wishing them a happy birthday because they happen to show notifications. I know this for a fact. When you in your newsfeed, engage with the posts, okay, and you can also target specific people that you want to get to know better and engage with them. And by the way, anytime you engage with people on LinkedIn, whether it's through notifications, through messaging, or on the newsfeed, LinkedIn sees that there might be a closer connection between you and that person. And that way they're more likely to see more of your posts. It's an algorithm thing again. So so be strategic about who you're engaging with, because LinkedIn will see it and create a closer bond. Endorse other people when appropriate in the skills and endorsement section. Write a recommendation for other people when it's appropriate, and then just give before you ask to receive at any time. Okay, so cool. And let's see. And then the last thing I could just mention really quickly with the 1 minute we have is to join. If you join LinkedIn groups, really the main advantage is that you can message people. You have a whole new group of people that you can message without being necessarily connected to them, and people are much more likely to respond to that message. So that's the main reason for doing that. We won't have time today to share our lessons learned, but I really hope that you did learn a lot. Check out my channel, like watch whatever videos you want to watch that are really going to help you. I know that they're going to give a whole lot more detail, but hopefully I gave you some good guidance today in terms of where to get started, so that you can have a really fantastic presence. And I want to thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Brooke, for a wonderful presentation. Before we wrap it up, I just want to inform our wonderful attendees that I did posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar a few minutes ago. Remember, we at Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, even as it helps us to improve on the services we provide to you guys at a low cost. So please kindly take 30 seconds of your time, help us to fill out the survey link I just posted. Now, I saw a couple of people asking if the link to the recording and the PowerPoint of the presentation will be shared to you guys at the end of the presentation. Yeah, I promise you guys will get it in the follow-up mails, either today or first thing tomorrow in the morning. Now, to wrap it up, I just want to, lastly, to thank each and every one of you guys for keeping it a day with us. Thank you, Brooke, for a wonderful presentation. I love the way everything flowed. And of course, last not the least, to my wonderful Temple SPDC colleague. Without them, we wouldn't have been here. And without them, this webinar wouldn't have come to pass. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.